RedNationBlogga back with another video. It's the off season. I really didn't expect to be recording this much in the off season, but it's a lot of stuff going on. This is going to be a two-parter type video. I'm going to address one thing and then I'm going to address another thing. I'm going to start off with the amazing off season that Rafael Stone has had. I want to give him his flowers. This video is specifically to give Rafael Stone his flowers, at least in the first part. Let's start off with the first deal. 3-year, $39 million deal for Steven Adams. It's a declining contract. The first year being $14 million. After that, $13 million flat, and then in its 34th season, $11 million, about 11.8, basically $12 million if you want to round up. And then you look at the Dorian Finney-Smith contract. Some new information came out today that only the first 2 years of Dorian Finney's contract is guaranteed money, and the last 2 years on that contract are non-guaranteed money. So essentially, the Rockets got him for a 2-year, $25.26 million deal, which is just, I mean, Stone's negotiating prowess that he is showing thus far is one of the best in the NBA in terms of like GMing. You know what I mean? Like his contract, like when you're on 2K and they say, hey, what kind of GM do you want to be? I say, you want to be good with player relationships? Do you want to be good like with trades? Like, what do you want to be good at? And like, there's like negotiating power. Stone like went all in with his VC on like negotiating power because these contracts it continues to impress me. And maybe it's not even that impressive. Like maybe Stone just knows the market and like he just, knows how to like relate to guys or something like that, or relate to their agents or something like that. But to me, it just seems like steal after steal after steal. Then, of course, we already talked about the Jabari Smith deal contract, 5 years, $122 million. Never touches $30 million in that contract whatsoever, going year by year. I'm looking at it right now, 21, 22, 24, 26, and then $27 million at the age of 27. He'll be making $27 million, which is the last year of that contract. It's a flat contract, no options, fine. Then you look at the Clint Capella contract, which is probably like some of his least best work, I guess I would say. I know that's not, grammatically correct. But $6.7 million for Capella this season, $7 million next season, and then $7.3 million at age 33 for Clint Capella. I can't believe he's only 33 years old. It seems like he's older than that. But really, this is just credit to Rafael Stone as a GM of the Houston Rockets, as a power negotiator of the Houston Rockets. Not only is he doing guys solids by trading them to where they want to go or like to better situations, whether that's PJ Tucker sending him to Milwaukee where he ultimately won a championship, sending Eric Gordon where he wanted to go, or, somewhere better, John Wall, same situation, like Cam Whitmore recently, same situation. He has done so much to get the best out of guys and to send them to where they want to go on the back end of their career if they're unhappy or if they just want to change the scenery. He's done that. Then you look at his ability to negotiate contracts, and it's like, wow, like this, I want to be in a room when he negotiates a contract. I want to see how it's done because this really is incredible stuff. Like this is not something that every GM just does, run-of-the-mill stuff. So to that, I do want to give Rafael Stone his flowers. Today he had I guess like a little short presser, nothing too serious, about 10 minutes, 29 seconds of just interviewing, taking different questions about Cam Whitmore, about Jalen Green, about Kevin Durant, about the future of the team, etc. And a lot of the questions kind of echoed what the community is talking about on social media. And that's the second part of this video. I kind of just want to focus on like the Rafael Stone praise, but Rafael Stone is a very smart guy. The way that he talks, the things that he says is very calculated. He doesn't just run off at the mouth. Even though it kind of came at the expense of somebody that I personally like watching and, I kind of mold my game around and my bag around when it came to like Jackson asking him about Jalen and the on-off numbers and the plus minus and how the data doesn't lie. And he kind of like laughed it off a little bit. He couldn't necessarily say numbers lie or that they was wrong or Jackson was even wrong, but you could tell in that moment he was put in a spot where it's like, I don't want to sink this guy's trade value that I'm clearly trying to trade this offseason. So let me kind of give word fodder and kind of like push the conversation somewhere else as to not shit on Jalen Green and in the process tank his trade value even more to now maybe in a Phoenix Sun deal for Kevin Durant, you do have to give up a Jabari Smith Jr. You know what I'm saying? Because what team wants to hear a GM shit on Jalen Green and then that same GM a month or two later say, oh, well, hey, we're giving you Jalen Green. No, you can't have it both ways. So I kind of understand what he was doing. And he kind of followed that same script in the questions that he will receive today. And a lot of it, especially like with Cam Whitmore and with Jalen Green, like with Cam Whitmore, he basically said, and people are hanging on to this, especially in the community, it's just dumb. Like, it's just dumb. I'm going to save it for the second part. But he said that the Rockets are not a developmental team anymore. And a lot of people are up in arms about this. And it's like, oh, well, Cam didn't even get a chance. That's what a lot of people are saying. Oh, Cam didn't even get a chance. Cam didn't even get a chance to develop, or, you know, who wants to come in and play a role in X, Y, and Z. It's like, Amen came in playing a role. Jabari Smith Jr. came in playing a role. Jalen Green came in playing a role. Alperen Sengun came in playing a role. Did we forget Alperen Sengun was coming off the bench to Bruno Fernando in his rookie season? Did we forget that? He came in playing a role. Tari Eason came in playing a role. Reed Shepard, the number 3 overall pick, came in playing a role. Everybody came in playing a role. It seems like everybody has bought into their role, except for one player who was drafted later than any of the names that I just named. He was drafted later than Tari. He was drafted later than Sengun. He was drafted later than all of those guys. And the guy that was drafted the latest has the biggest issue with playing a role on the team. The math is just not adding up. And people are upset that he's gone. And I know I talked about this in the last video, but I'm trying to give perspective on Rafael Stone's angle and like why he didn't like completely just shit on Cam Whitmore. Like for me, I couldn't be a GM because I'm not going to have that narrative and that cloud over me and everybody looking at me in the fan base crazy in the face when I just did this dude a solid who wasn't even trying to buy in to what we're doing. And we are the team that drafted him when so many other teams passed on you. So many other teams drafted players who, in my opinion, are not as good as you, are not as talented as you. And on those teams which passed on you, you would have had more opportunity there. But the team that drafted you, the team that gave you an opportunity in the first round, you don't want to buy into that team. I couldn't be a GM. I simply could not do it. I couldn't do it. I'm too honest. I think that's what's preventing me from going to the next step anyway. I'm too honest about things. I'm just too honest. I'm not going to bite my tongue to preserve somebody's feelings. I'm not going to do that. That's not in me, especially when it comes to sports. Like, I'm not doing anything personal about you. I'm just talking about sports. Like, if you perform well, I will glaze. If you shitty, I'm going to tell it how it is. Like, what's wrong about that? If I do a bad job on the pod, people should be able to tell me, hey, bro, you did a bad job. And if I do a great job, people should tell me, hey, bro, you did a great job. Why would I get offended? It's not hate. It's coming from a place of critique and what people see. So I just went off on a tangent, but that's just my opinion on it. That's my outlook on it. But Rafael Stone has done an amazing job. And just the whole development stuff got taken out of context. And I just hate that it got taken out of context because people are already looking for something to complain about. The Houston Rockets were never going to be able to keep all 7 of their core. They've already, I know Usman Garuba and Josh Christopher and Tata Washington are so far away from our minds we've forgotten, but those guys are no longer here as well. You are not going to be able to keep all of your picks and get vets. That is a very, very rare situation. OKC is doing the best example of this, and even they traded for Alex Caruso. They got rid of a lottery pick for Alex Caruso. They benched one of their draft picks in Jalen Williams to sign Isaiah Hartenstein. They did things like that to put themselves in a better position to win a championship. It's that simple. So this notion that the Rockets have given up on development is just dumb. Is really dumb, and I wish our fan base would really just stop it. Not everybody in the fan base, but it's a select few that are being really, really dumb. I hope I gave Rafael Stone enough credit in that last part, y'all. I really do. I tried to bite my tongue for the second segment, but I got to get to it. The Rockets community, hear me and hear me well. For you Jalen Green fans, for you Cam Whitmore fans, y'all need to take a real good look in the mirror, man. Shut up. It's over. It's over. Jalen Green, he is not who we thought he was. It's that simple. Why do you think in trade discussions, just hypothetical trade land, when it comes to players like Jokic or Giannis, a lot of Rockets fans don't even want to involve Amen in those deals? They don't even want to potentially even talk about trading for a Giannis or a Jokic, two guys that are at the apex prime of their careers, two guys that arguably could be top 10 all time when it's all said and done. And Rockets fans are reluctant to trade for either one of those because they know it'll mean the cost of Amen Thompson. Do you know why? Because Amen Thompson in 2 seasons has shown what he is about. He's shown superstar potential. He's shown the ability that he could be a franchise player. He's shown that. Jalen Green got 4 seasons in Houston. 2 of those seasons, high usage. No responsibility, no accountability basketball. The last 2, year 3 was probably his roughest season as a professional. And year 4 was the season where they stuck with him come hell or high water. They stuck with him. And they still, after all of that data, the good times and the bad times, they still decided that they would include him in a deal for Kevin Durant. You know why they decided to do that? Because he's not it. He has not shown enough to be like, no, we're not going to include you in a Kevin Durant deal. Matter of fact, we don't even want Kevin Durant. We don't even want Kevin Durant. We're so confident in Jalen Green hitting his potential. Kevin, you can go to San Antonio. You can go to Miami. That's how not confident they were in Jalen Green. He's had 4 seasons of excuses. It's over for that. It's time to move on and flip the page. Go to the next chapter. Get League Pass. Follow him on the Phoenix Suns and watch every single game. If he goes there and he flourishes and he wins Most Improved and he makes an All-NBA team, salute. Congratulations. The Rockets got bigger goals and goals that I don't think Jalen Green was going to reach in a Houston Rockets jersey. It's that simple. And we got people in this fan base now just crying and being irrational. Oh, it's championship or bust now. Well, yeah. But you know when it wasn't going to be championship or bust? If they still had Jalen Green. It wasn't going to be championship or bust. If they still had Jalen Green on the perimeter. It was never going to be that with Jalen Green. Give it up. It was never going to be championship or bust with him on the Houston Rockets. Oh, well, Sengun had a down season, and fans still love him, and the team didn't move on from him. Well, Sengun also has 3 prior seasons showing his excellence. Year 3, Sengun was arguably the Rockets' best player. He was the Rockets' best player. Year 3, we were talking about maybe being All-NBA, maybe being a fringe All-Star. And then what did he do in year 4 to pay it off? He actually made the All-Star team. Even after a down season at finishing at the rim, even with his true shooting percentage being, 54, 55% or something bad like that, he still made an All-Star game. You know who didn't make an All-Star game? The number 2 overall pick, Jalen Green, because he's not that good yet. Maybe he'll never be. Maybe he will be. But as of now, it was time to put up or it was time to shut up. That's it. And again, this timeline talk, and this goes to my other point about the development quote that Rafael Stone made. Bro, Reed Shepherd is still going to develop. Amen Thompson is still going to develop. Jabari Smith is still going to develop. Alperen Sengun is still going to develop. Tari Eason is still going to develop. They're still going to develop these guys. What he was trying to say is, we're going to develop the guys that we believe in, and not worry about the guys that we didn't believe in, which is why they are gone in the first place. That's what he was really saying in that quote. But we have so many people that are either super emotional or flat out dumb in this fan base that they think that he's saying we're tanking development. If that was the case, let's go get Giannis. Let's go get Jokic. Let's make the necessary moves to go old. But that's not what he's doing. He's keeping the 5 future core guys that he believes in, and he's going to give them another opportunity, and he's going to give them another opportunity, or as many opportunities as he needs to give them until the next available trade comes up. If Jabari Smith don't hit his potential, Jabari, you gone for the next best thing. Y'all gonna cry about that too. Reed Shepherd, if you don't hit your potential, you gone for the next best player. It's that simple. The only 2 players I'm confident in is Sengun and Amen Thompson, really. The only reason why I have pause about Tari Eason is because of injury issues. That's it. So all of this talk and all of this nonsense about development and they're done developing and the window and this and the window that, there is no window. The window is open regardless of what KD does. The window is open because this team's young core, the oldest player on this roster of the core, isn't even 25 years old. The Rockets have their picks. They have a Dallas pick and they have Phoenix's picks. So they still have ways to improve and to get better and to draft more young guys should the situation present itself. Read in between the lines and stop being so dumb as a community. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate y'all for listening to my crash out. Comment below. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what I didn't miss. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you didn't agree with. As always, guys, thank you for watching once again. RedNationBlogga out.